Welcome to the Modern Insurance Agents Podcast. Would you work with you? You might be the problem. It's you.
Welcome to the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast.
We're your host, David and Elle Denning.
What happens when a millennial couple dives headfirst into the insurance world, scales $1 million remote business, and decides to share the journey with the world?
You get the Modern Insurance Agent.
Here, we reveal the messy, magical, and sometimes hilarious realities of building a business and a life you love.
From traveling the globe to building remote teams. Yes, even working remotely on top of a mountain in the Philippines. We're sharing insights, strategies, and plenty of laughs to help agents and entrepreneurs succeed.
Because, let's face it, success isn't just about hitting numbers.
It's about designing a life that works for you.
So let's dive in and build something extraordinary together.
You absolutely hate it when people cold call you, knock on your door, or send you junk mail. But you're doing the exact same thing in your business and expecting different results. In this episode, we're going to flip the script and ask the hard-hitting question, would you even work with you? But first, before we do that, Elle, where can they get all the resources, everything amazing that they want to go grab right away?
Absolutely. Head on over to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast to get the show notes, all of the resources, and our most up-to-date marketing guide so that you can get started with your own organic marketing.
Awesome. Well, let's dive in.
So, David, you ever get someone knocking on your door trying to sell you something?
Yeah, and I hide behind the couch like it's a zombie apocalypse. But but then agents turn around and go door to door like, why are you mad at me, bro? Like, bro, you'd be mad at you, right? And I think in reality, this is kind of one of the first things we want to talk about, and things agents do that they expect different results than how they treat those same people. So, I mean, we live in Florida. Of course, we get people knocking the doors. One of the biggest ones being solar, right? And they're drenching in sweat. They're dying. And hey, would you rather come learn how to sell insurance like virtually? But that's beside the point, right? But door knocking is alive. It's prevalent. It's still going on. Not saying you can't get some sales out of it, but it's rough. But at the end of the day, when you think about how you react when people come to your door and knock on it, whether your kid's sleeping, oh yeah, you're getting goodwill from those parents for waking that kid up that hasn't slept in days. Or it's causing the dog to go so crazy they bust through the window, which I've been worried about a few times with ours. Yeah, definitely worried about that. Or you're just in the middle of, spending quality time with your spouse, right? Also a great way to earn some goodwill, right? So don't be that person, right? Like, if you're annoyed, upset, and absolutely hate when that happens to you or your family, then why are you doing the exact same thing? Right? It's slightly hypocritical, but that's not really my point. My point is, like, we do the things that we already know won't work because why? Because our upline tells us to, because the company tells us to. That's how it was done 5, 10, 50 years ago. And so I really want you guys throughout this to evaluate, like, what am I doing that I should be doing differently? Because I don't even like that, right? And so, what we want to talk about is, kind of flip this over. Like, I want to build relationships. I want to build trust. I want to approach people on where people actually want to get approached, maybe where they even expect to get approached. And that doesn't annoy them. That doesn't cause issues as a part of it because, hey, yeah, that's just natural. Cool. I want to have a conversation, especially when I approach it that way versus, hey, are you thinking about buying some solar? Like, okay, so you just some stranger that approached my door, right? I don't know if you're, trying to sell me solar or Girl Scout cookies, which they can still come by my door. Girl Scout cookies, they're allowed, but solar, no, you can go away.
Is it bad that I hide from the Girl Scouts too? I don't want to talk to anybody that comes to my door.
I mean, it's a little bad if I don't get the cookies. So, maybe we could just place an order online because aren't they in the 21st century? I don't know, right? So, but, the social media is a great place to build relationships, approach people where they're already spending time. They're expecting to interact and be in conversations with people, commenting, spending that time anyways. So it's really natural. Like, if someone reaches out to you on social, especially if it's not even a message yet, if it's just on a comment or on a post of yours, you're usually not upset. You're usually like, oh, my post finally got one comment. Finally have someone paying attention to me, right? But in reality, like, it's just easier to have conversations there. And I can create these warm conversations. I can create already a little bit of trust, provide some value, and get into conversations where they actually want to talk to me. They actually want to listen to me, right? As a part of that. And so, use social proof, not scare tactics. Don't ring that doorbell, especially when that note right over the doorbell says, do not ring, I'm sleeping.
No soliciting.
No soliciting. Insurance agents love to ignore that no soliciting. They're like, oh, that's the easy sale. That's probably true, but I mean, you're not earning goodwill there for sure. So, but yeah, what's your take on this?
Yeah, well, I think that our times have changed a lot too. Like door knocking, I think maybe used to be like people would open the door, they would answer the door. And now it's just one of those tactics that is very intrusive. And so using other types of strategies like social media marketing, it really allows you to enter, if you will, people's spaces, which would be by interacting with them on social media in a more natural and non-intrusive way versus going and knocking on the door. I think especially for millennials and younger, like it is weird when you knock on the door. Like we are of the generation where you text people before to make plans, to even before you call them. I know that like I text my friends about our plan to have a phone call or a Zoom call. Like I don't just call my friend.
You schedule your phone calls, which is very millennial of you.
Yes. And so someone coming to my door, like that is, I literally am going to the other room. I am hiding and making sure that they don't see me.
I've seen you hide. They can still see you, though, by the way. I think they can cinch you in there, maybe, and they don't want to leave till they get an answer. Like, it's a little embarrassing, right? We shouldn't have to be embarrassed in our own homes, right? Like, just don't knock on my door, bro. But no, yeah, and I think that's absolutely the case. So, guys, like, when it comes to door knocking, some of these methods, if you hate it, don't go do that yourself. Like, there's better ways.
Absolutely.
So, okay, Elle, that's door knocking. Let's talk about one step that honestly kind of goes along with that a little bit, but doesn't involve them personally being at your house or ringing your doorbell. Let's talk about mailers. Do you ever get that lovely piece of mail or 1,000 of them?
Piece of mail? Like what?
Yeah. Is anybody ever trying to market it to you in the mail, and how effective is that?
Yeah, that's like straight to the trash, Olympic level toss right there, directly into the bin. Like that. I don't even know. I don't.
Basketball wasn't your sport. Don't worry about
it. That just reminds me of like Salt Bay. But but yeah, I don't really engage with mailers. I will say that I open them if it looks like it's like, they've now started doing it with like pink pieces of paper that looks like it's some sort of like overdue utility bill or something like that. And it scares me. And I'm like, oh no, did I forget to pay a bill? And I open it up real fast. And then I'm really irritated when it's something about my extended car warranty, or I've definitely seen life insurance from Gerber. It was actually, I remember this.
Just calling them out.
It had the little perforated where you like tear it off. Like you think that you're getting something from the IRS, like a check or something like that in the mail. And you have to like do little tear offs, but it was Gerber for life insurance. And
those are the worst. I'm getting money to I'm not getting any money and they're pitching me on something. That's a way to go down the toilet right there. Not in the trash can. I'm throwing that thing in the toilet, which probably explains plumbing issues. All right. So
yeah. And so, I mean, question to all of you listening to this, like, do you respond to those mailers? And an agent's complain because it's like, yeah, I'm getting a really low response rate on my direct mail. Well, yeah, do you engage with that stuff and you expect others to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that Joe, Jerry, sent me
Great with names on the spot. Nailed it.
Joe, Jerry, this random Medicare person that I know nothing about, sent me a piece of mail that made me scared that I was overdue on a bill, or I thought I was getting a check in the mail and I wasn't, and now I'm just disappointed. So yeah, Joe, Jerry, Medicare person, I'm not so happy with you now.
Listen, I don't even know where to find a stamp. So, like, how am I going to send it back to you if I was interested? Like, it's like carrying cash nowadays. Like, what's that, right? So, even if I was interested, it took all the time and filled it out, which I'm never going to do. Let's be honest here. Give me an online form or something. But even if I was, I'd be like, oh, I can't actually even send this legally in the mail because I don't have a stamp. Apparently you can buy those somewhere, but I don't know how that works. So. Moving on, yeah. So what can they do better? Like, what can they do differently? Like, so direct mail, it's going down the drain. The return rates have dropped year over year. Mail pieces have gotten more and more expensive. Those stamps keep going up, right? Like, I thought they were like a few pennies. Apparently, they're like 50 cents.
Yeah,
or even
it's
more
getting
now.
expensive.
I don't even know. So
it's getting expensive.
Once again, I have no idea what's the stamp.
Mail.
How much does a banana cost, Michael? What, $10 or whatever? Yeah. Any Arrested Development fans, but yeah, what can agents be doing better instead?
Yeah. So again, it goes back into having a marketing strategy. Of course, using social media and adding in those digital touch points is going to be free. But if you want to do a mail campaign, you want to do direct mail, it actually can be super effective, but you want to make sure that it's a personalized strategy that you're doing with it. The other thing, this isn't a free social media thing, but another thing that I've done with some clients is they're still doing direct mail. They're still sending mail to their clients, which is great. But in addition to that, we're also taking that direct mail list and running ads and retargeting campaigns so that they're now also getting a piece of mail, but then they're also seeing the agent on social media. With all of these things, especially on your digital marketing side of things, using your face is so important. So you don't want to just use like super sterilized graphics that have just stock photography on them. That's also important in your direct mail as well. Like, try to use your face to create consistency in your branding across your direct mail pieces, and then also in your digital marketing as well. Especially if you're doing this in like smaller local communities, you could very likely be out at the grocery store or at a community event, your kid's sporting event or something like that, and have people recognize you from your ads, which is, you want that to some degree. Think about like people that pay for billboards or put their faces on the side of a bus,
Every attorney everywhere.
Yeah. And they have to do a lot of billboards, and those things are expensive. But when you're being strategic with something like a direct mail campaign plus a digital marketing strategy that you use ads for, you can get very, very targeted with that and really create a lot of trust and rapport that way. Again, just can't emphasize enough using your face as your biggest brand asset, really. I know we talk about that a lot, but it's going to be better than, things that have stock photography on them. It doesn't mean that you can't use stock photography. Just also make sure that you include your face. If you have a physical location, including photography of you, your staff in your physical location, all of those things like help people really picture you as their insurance agent and helping them versus just like a faceless brand that they can't really connect with or relate to.
And we're not saying that it can't be a part of your process, but it needs to be kind of multi-layered and feed into other stuff. And even then, I see more of the opportunity of any sort of mail with your client base, right? Touch points with them, provide some value, especially if it's personalized in some way. But even unpersonalized, sort of personalized stuff and maybe get from real estate agents, I still appreciate that something's coming from a birthday or something. Like that's a touch point. And I do see it. I do open it, right? But even more so if it's actually something written to me or include something in it. But when it comes to prospecting, like I want to be clear. I definitely don't want to be misleading. The government sponsored, program with benefits you have. Like, okay, guys, like the days of like tricking seniors or ever, I just not very transparent or clear. And then people get upset when their leads aren't qualified or interested, right? So I do want to be transparent, but also like, bribes work. Right. And so I'm thinking of a particular piece that our real estate agents use with us. And we actually get regular email because we're in the 21st century, right?
And
we get
text.
emails and text or whatever. But I'm thinking particularly of where they actually send like free coffee or smoothies or to try out a local spot. And there are things that also encourage us to use other local businesses, which is really great, kind of like strategic referral partner type thing as well. But like that has a really awesome touch point. And if we go to those things, you get to make a memory and remember who gave that to us too. Those are really cool too. And so as far as mail, yes, handwritten tends to get open more significantly than just a regular, okay, this is a piece of going directly in the trash. But if I include something in that mail, like a physical object, then I'm definitely opening that piece of mail, right? And it's like, what's in here? What am I getting, right? And so, once again, if you are going to use it, make sure you leverage it for branding. In addition to it, make sure you're clear and make sure you give it or them a reason to check it out or to reach out from there. Even better, if I can make it easier, I don't want to send something back in the mail. Like if I'm interested in something, I want info about it right then, that I can either hop online, scan a QR code, something, and get to the information I want. Even better if you can actually track when it is arriving to them, and I can follow up with a call the next day. Hey, I sent this in the mail, wanted to touch base, and now there's some connection a little bit there too. But once again, I view it layered in, but that traditional just like, let me send enough mail to 1,000 people at a time and some people will respond. It's getting rougher and rougher.
Definitely. Okay, David, let's talk about the phone. Do you answer numbers you don't know?
Do I answer numbers I don't know? Absolutely not. And I assume it's spam or worse. Probably someone from high school trying to sell me crypto, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, listen, I know these numbers are pitches of spam. My phone even tells me it's spam most of the time, right? But for some reason, agents get mad when their calls don't get answered, and it's the 7th call from a different number and just spamming like a robo dialer, right? Like, or I get hit over and over while I'm in the middle of a phone call, maybe with a prospect myself or a client, right? Like, we know that it's annoying, and yet agents attempt to do the exact same thing on others, and they're like, man, why'd that person cuss me out? Like they're just a mean person, versus like, bro, you just cussed people out like 4 times when you got cold called earlier today, right? And like it's if I'm not going to do it, why would my prospects do it, right? And especially this is true when you get to millennials and younger. Like they don't want to answer the phone. Like Elle was pointing out, scheduling her phone calls. Like I don't got time for it. One, and then number 2, like I know it's if someone I know who it is, or they send me a text to let me know, and then I'll answer it, on the next try. But like the hitting over and over phone calls, like the 1,000th time is generally not going to be the solution. They usually block me after the first 3. So like, why would I keep doing it? So, but that's not to say reaching out and connecting and having conversations isn't beneficial, but there's different ways that I can really do this. Like social touch points where people are actually expecting to get interacted with. They're not as afraid of that. They're going to see that and respond to it. They're going to read their notifications on social where, I've got 1,000 voicemails I probably haven't listened to. I mean, let's be honest, who goes and listens to voicemail, right? Text me, right? And so, but social is a great place. I can do the warm-ups. I can get them to recognize who I am. And that way, like, hey, it's okay if I give you a call? Yeah, that's fine. Like, oh, this is my number. Oh, cool. I'll keep an eye out. Cool. They're going to answer that, right? Because I've warmed it up and they actually know the number calling them, even if it's not saved in their phone, and they're expecting it, right? So there's different ways I can use social to warm up. And, I can I can leave a voicemail, sure. But honestly, like that's where I'll incorporate text a little bit. I mean, I don't listen to voicemails. It just already transcribes it for me anyways. So it's important to be real. I don't know. What do you think about phone calls? You answer all the spam calls?
I am really bad at answering.
She didn't answer my own calls, guys. Listen, I'm at the store for something she sent me there for. She didn't specify, was super vague on, at least in my opinion. And I'm calling her and like, where is she? I'll give you a specific example. We were at the airport very recently, coming back from a trip up to Atlanta with my family up there, and I was sitting there. They're boarding our plane. They're boarding everywhere. We're supposed to be priority, and they're already on to every single person with a breath or pulse. Like they're boarding at this point. The gate's getting ready to close. Like Elle's nowhere to be found as she went off to find coffee as usual, and she's not answering my phone.
Coffee?
I've called like multiple times. I'm starting to find my friend and like ping her phone and make it ring. Forever, nothing. I'm like, she's dead. She's kidnapped. She fell unconscious in the bathroom. I'm literally about to ask a stranger to go in the women's bathroom and start calling her name out. That's how desperate I am. You know how scary that is? Just ask a stranger to go in the bathroom and start shouting someone's name out.
I'm really sorry you were that scared.
I was traumatized here. Okay.
Apparently,
if she's not going to answer my own damn phone call, she ain't answering yours, by the way.
I had my hands full of coffee. I'm sorry.
Excuses.
You did have coffee and breakfast for the flight, though.
I did appreciate that. So all's well that ends well, right? But our point is still the same.
Okay, I got so distracted there. So, I guess I don't. I think the point I was making was that I don't answer my phone. And one thing, though, I will say, so I legitimately do want to talk to people. And so there was actually somebody that was trying to get a hold of me recently of something that I had signed up for. It was, the Amex Gold card. It was the representative to get signed up for the Amex Gold business card or whatever, because you can get extra points. And that rep, he did call me, but what he also did was, in addition to his phone call, he left me a voicemail, but then he would send me an email too, like pretty much right away. And so I saw the email come through after the phone call, and I was like, oh, okay, I know who this is that's trying to call me, but I still didn't call him back. I just emailed him back.
I mean, if you throw in a fax, he woofed you for any old Office fans, on that side. So,
but it was like it was somebody that I actually wanted to talk to, and that I had requested the information for, and it wasn't like he just like blew up my phone. He was also sent an email, and I was like, oh yeah, this is somebody that I want to touch base with. So, bringing in those additional layers of communication are so important. Like, definitely, like if you've got leads, like, call your leads, make sure that you're following up with them. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that you want to make sure that you're not just relying on pounding the phone, and that's the only way that you're trying to get in touch with people. Start using these multifaceted approaches. Definitely email, text message, and social media is huge. And if you can, get connected with people on social media, provide valuable content on your social media platforms. Use that in your emails and your text. Or we have clients that, when they're quoting people, they'll include videos like Loom. They will use to go through quotes, and they'll send that as a personalized video to the prospect. If, they're having trouble getting a deal across the line. So be a little bit creative, show your personality. Don't just rely on listening to that dial tone forever and ever and ever. Do some other things too to show your personality and get in touch with people.
It's rough, guys. Like when you got every voicemail variation memorized word for word, or you've heard that tone, like I know exactly it's gonna beep now or ever, you might have been cold calling a little too much, guys, on that side. So Elle, let's talk about branding, or more likely the lack of it. Why are agents hiding behind company logos?
Yeah. So agents, I think, want to build a brand, but they literally are secret, and they are not out on social media. They're not putting themselves out there. They're not building a presence, and They have the brand equivalent of a beige square. Or they want to hide behind a company logo, like you mentioned. We already touched on this when we were talking about the direct mail piece of that they want to just put out this, like, what I call it, like sterilized type branding content, because it's just fluff. Like, it's not really substantial. It's not them. It doesn't show anything about them. And so they really, care so much about having the perfect logo, or like really, really high quality business cards or something like that, but, won't put their face out on social media. And the reality is, like, you can't say that you buy from someone you trust and then you give your audience zero reason to trust you by hiding your face and not showing your personality. Like, you can't say that you are a relationship person and you do business through relationships, but you don't actually build relationships by putting yourself out there. So, you want to make sure that you're sharing your story. Personal branding is one of the most effective ways, especially for agents when they're in those earlier stages of building their businesses. It's going to be the biggest needle mover for you, because allowing people to get to know you, get to know your story, that's what's going to draw them to you and help them build a relationship with you. That's why social media marketing is so powerful, is because you can do this at a large scale. You can get a lot of eyeballs on your content and to get to know you.
Yeah, and if this face ain't breaking the camera and everything, you'll be fine, right? So, so don't let the fear hold you back from putting yourself out there, building that brand. That's where I want the trust and loyalty in the first place, right? Agents can't, brand like a ghost, non-existent, disappeared, them nowhere around, especially them personally, and expect loyalty like a celebrity, right? Like, if no one knows me or my agency, there's nothing different about them going to someone else, even within that same company, right? Like, the company doesn't need my help. Like, these are large companies and corporations and entities spend millions and millions on their companies and branding and marketing. They don't need my extra little, like, let me stamp your logo on something here. Like, I want to brand my business, whether it's just me or I have a team, my agency, right? Like, I want that trust and loyalty. And the only way to build that is by me actually getting in front of people and what that brand is. What is my agency? How do I treat my customers? Who am I? Who's my team? All this stuff is really important, not only just for them trusting me and reaching out, but it's really important for when it comes to retention and referrals. The numbers are there too. It's not just a feel nice thing. It's actually a business thing. It's a numbers, data, metrics. So there's a reason that people do this. Isn't just because they like to be friendly. It's because they realize it helps with this persistency. It helps with customer loyalty. It helps with more and more people knowing who they are and sending stuff their way. When we look at social, we look at influencers on social. The bigger they are, the more people know, the more deals and opportunities come to them, more audience just knows and gets recommended to them. Like, you want to be that agent everybody knows to send stuff to. So you got to let that personality come out.
I love it. All right. Talk to us about outdated marketing tactics.
Yeah, on the tech side, right? So, like, agents are kind of tech dinosaurs, but have the latest iPhone or the latest, in our case, Android. We like better specs for less, right? Let's be honest here. No, we didn't get sucked into their marketing, although it is good, right? So, agents will have the newest smartphone, Bluetooth fridge that they can play games on. I guess I don't even know. There's crazy fridges now, right? But then they'll send PDFs from 2003 or run ads like it's MySpace. And for all you Gen Zers, that's an old social platform. Don't worry about it, right? So you can't expect to get modern clients that, like, aren't asking you for help turning on their computers. Agents love to complain about working with seniors and some of those issues, but then they're not updated and using or leveraging technology themselves. They're like, well, how does this app work? Or I don't want to use this. I just want to talk to someone. And yet they're the same exact phrases that their senior clients are using, right? And so you can't expect modern clients to trust you when your tech stack looks like a fax machine graveyard. It's Gen Z fax machines are these old things that used to send stuff. I barely remember them, right? So, anyways, and so let's not forget, half of them want to be, secret agents on social, right? Like, half of you guys don't want to post, don't want to tell anybody what you do. You want to be a ghost on all platforms. You want to not exist. But you're never going to build trust that if you're not active online. For most, even millennials, but especially Gen Z, you don't exist if you're not on social. There's an immediate distrust if I can't find you on social, see what you're about, what you stand for, what you represent, because people also want to work with people that align with them or they'd like working with. And social is the easy, quick place they can go and check that out, right? And so, like, agents just are not leveraging this stuff, and yet they want clients that understand how to do an e-signature that can go through this info that they're sending over, that they can easily find online themselves, right? And like, they're not doing these things also, right? So I want to leverage things like social is the quick, easy example of, yes, absolutely, I should have been doing this 10, 20 years ago on social side. But also now it's things like AI. If you're not heavily, not even just turned it on and tested out a little once on ChatGPT. If I'm not heavily using AI at this point, you're already falling behind. You're already less efficient. You're already, just even putting like emails and messages together, they could be so much better if you're using that to help you craft things as well and save time as well. So tell me a little bit on agents like that are both leveraging it and just missing out on opportunities because they're not up to date.
Yes, if you're not up to date, especially with what's going on with AI right now, you won't have a business in 5 years. I mean, that is the reality of this technology, how quickly it's moving, is that you have to be able to adapt and you have to be open to learning. Being stuck in your ways is fine if you plan on selling your business and you don't want to be in business.
If you're retired in the next few months, sure,
don't worry about it. But I do think about this. I think about agents that we talk to that have the filing cabinets and they're all paper files. And I don't even know, like, is how like valuable is that business if you don't even have all of your client records digitally? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you could sell the business, but you're still gonna have to hire somebody to digitize all of those records. Like, if that's you, if everything is like handwritten in file cabinets, like, I would very seriously think about solutions of modernizing the way that you are keeping records, the way that you're communicating with clients. And because things are moving quickly, the insurance space, I would say, is slower to adapt. It is an older industry, but it's happening. We already see it happening. We already see these major insurtech companies that are looking to revolutionize and adapt, and quite frankly, looking to push agents out of what they do best, which is working with clients, advising clients. And if you want to be able to stand your ground and be competitive, you have to have modern solutions. I was just talking to somebody recently that he's a plumber here in Florida. And I was talking to him about his insurance and everything. And I was asking him about it. And he was like, yeah, I stopped working with the local agent because it just took too long for me to get my certificate of insurance that I needed for my jobs. And so he went to a digital platform where he was able to get his COIs, his certificate of insurance, for the jobs that he was doing a lot faster. But it also told me, and he didn't really say it in so many words, but he's like, I ended up dropping one of my coverages, which was his coverage for his tools that he kept in his truck. His truck got broken into, and while the vehicle itself was covered for any damage, his tools were not. And it was like tens of thousands of dollars that he lost in the tools. And if he had been working with an agent, that agent would have been able to properly advise him of not dropping that specific coverage. But he was valuing the convenience of being able to use this app over the advice of working with an agent. So if you want to be an agent that can not only make sure that your clients are properly protected and advise people in that way, you have to be able to adapt technology and be able to service clients in a way that helps you automate things, do things quickly, service them faster, and utilize especially automations and AI. I mean, the reality is like AI is going to be able to come in and personalize every single experience for every single person in every single industry. Insurance is not going to be any different. It's not that AI is going to replace you, but agents that know how to use AI and automations, they will.
Absolutely. Don't be like the agents that ignored the internet. This is a fad. Like, this is the same thing when it comes to social media, which already years and years and years behind, or currently with AI, right? So I want to put this in place, and also video. If you're not using video as a part of your marketing or also with your clients, it is one of the most powerful things that you can be using and leveraging as a part of that for both trust building, reach outs, communicating information, building audiences with, like, this podcast, for example. And so make sure that you're incorporating video as a part of this as well. So we can talk about technology all day, and we'll probably do some future podcasts around some of the tech that we love, enjoy, and use. But let's go ahead and dive into social media expectations, and a little bit around that.
Yeah. So agents bring a lot of times a very transactional energy to a relationship platform. Social media is social. It is about building relationships. Even though it is a modern thing, it's very much rooted in the things that make us human, the things that kept us alive when we were cavemen, which was having community and connection with other people. Yeah, that is how we have always survived. It is how we will continue to survive, even though people like to think that we're more isolated these days than we have been historically. Social media is replacing community. And it's not necessarily like we don't have community. It's just like where people are congregating is now in digital space. It's not in physical space, especially since the pandemic. We're seeing more and more people choose not to go out and be in physical social spaces, but they are spending more and more time on social media. That same human need to connect with other people is not going away. So when agents bring a transactional energy to social media, they have this expectation like, I posted once. Where are my leads? Why aren't people reaching out to me? But the reality is, if the shoe was on the other foot there and you saw somebody that was just out here posting about their business all the time, you probably have gotten these messages. Hey, David, you keeping your opportunities open?
Yo, what MLM are you pitching me on now?
We all hate that. We hate to be sold to. And we especially are not going to buy anything without a relationship or without connection or without value. And that's the problem, is when agents, they are trying to use a relationship platform for transactions. So what's the solution to this? It's to lead with value. We are very, very big in providing more value, giving more than you ask. We talk about this as the idea of the goodwill bank in your marketing. You always want to be making deposits into your goodwill bank. And you do that by educating your audience. You do that by entertaining your audience. You do that by showing your personality and sharing your story and offering real connection and vulnerability, transparency, inspiration, and allowing people to see you and connect with you on social media in a relationship manner. So this whole thing is really about building relationships and doing so in an authentic way so that you're actually earning the right to sell. You're earning somebody's business. And this is something that is so, I hear agents say this all the time. It's something that's so core to what I consider like the insurance agent mindset or code is like, we believe in earning your business. Well, we need to take that same feeling and apply it to social media. We believe in earning your attention. Think about that. Like, are you even creating content that people want to pay attention to? Because they pay with their attention, right? So think about the content that you're putting out, the intention behind it, and are you really coming at it to provide value to your audience, or are you just looking at it as a way that you can get something from your audience?
And take this step beyond just social media. Like overarching, agents are very transactional when they hate when people are transactional with them, right? They want to, maybe it's from just working leads too long of like, listen, I call them on the phone, buy from me, don't buy from me, next call again, right? And they want to move quickly into a solution. Oh, you want to talk to your spouse about the significant decision? Who really wears the pants? You need to sign up for this right now. And they really want this transaction. There's no empathy. There's nothing. And people are like, well, I hate when someone doesn't take the time to understand my problem or sell something to me or ever. And yet they're doing that exact same thing. So this applies to not just social. This applies to how I interact on phone as I meet people in person. It's weird because in reality, when I think about these exact same agents, if they were to walk in a room full of people, like at church or whatever, they're not just saying, hey, all you guys here, great sermon. Who wants to buy insurance? They're absolutely not doing that there. And yet they're doing the exact same thing when they approach things on this transactional. So focus on relationships. It's always been an industry of relationships. It's about the most important relationships ever with family and my future, my most prized possessions, my health. Like, so go back to that relationship focus and just we'll modernize it as well. But the transactional doesn't come off well. And I think people can feel it. In fact, you can probably feel it, right? So with that, let's talk about one more thing. Let's talk about ads. What's the deal?
You don't click ads either, right?
No, I skip them. Every YouTube ad for the last decade, I skip those ads, right? I get mad when they come up, right? So, and that's with any platform, right? Facebook, I skim past. I didn't even notice that ad. Like, if you ask me about it, I didn't even see it. There's something called ad blindness, psychological effect. But like, with that said, like, I do not interact well with ads. It would have to be really good, the right thing, right time in front of me. But in general, I just get annoyed by them, right? I like to go seek and find things. I don't like when ads pop up in front of me. I'm usually ignoring it anyways. I mean, you drive down the highway, are you really reading these billboards? You're like, oh, let me hands free this car and call this person real quick. Might die, but it's worth trying to dial this number that I have no way of remembering what the number is once I drive past, right? And so it's the same thing with ads, like, but you expect your ad to get massive love and people clicking it and being like, oh, I love this ad. I absolutely want to talk to you on these regulated burial benefits or saving on my car insurance. Oh man, I can't wait to reach out on this. No, absolutely not. And yet agents get upset when their ads aren't performing. They're not getting, 3-cent leads or whatever. Like, and it's reality. It's like, you don't act well with ads yourself. Like, are you clicking all these ads? Are you buying all these things? So if you're not engaging with others' generic offers and their ads, what makes you think people are going to respond to yours? Right. And so Elle, tell me a little bit of what can people do in a little bit differently as far as combining some marketing strategies, but even when it comes to their ads versus running a straight up generic thing versus something more personalized.
Don't be generic. Don't be generic.
Don't be generic.
So use your face, get on video. You literally could run any of the, tried and true ads, but it's simply you delivering the message versus it being, again, a, stock image or just some text or something like that. But use photography that shows, again, your face, your office. And you want to also blend it with your organic content as well. So I will harp on this forever because I think it is the number one missing piece when I look at any agent marketing strategy, and that is lead nurture. Agents expect people to click on this ad and be ready to buy from, again, usually it's a generic ad. They have no idea who you are. They really don't understand the value of working with you over them going to a website and filling out a form, or going anywhere else. So if you're paying for leads, I think this is very, very important. But if you're running any type of paid advertising, those leads are cold. They do not know you. And it is your job through your marketing to warm those leads up, to nurture those leads, and ultimately guide them into what we call the buying pocket. When they are in the buying pocket, they're going to be ready to move forward. Most leads are not in the buying pocket at the time that they're requesting information. They're just curious at that point. So your marketing really needs to warm them up, nurture them, educate them, and provide value to them. Social media does this. This is why we teach organic. This is why our clients have so much success with organic, is because by the time somebody's reaching out to them, they've already been nurtured. So with organic, that nurture process happens on the front end, but with an ads strategy or a paid strategy, that nurture process has to happen after the lead hits your system and comes into your system. So the way that you can use organic is you can start driving traffic to your social media platforms. Like if you do a weekly YouTube, for example, or you do a weekly Facebook Live, or you're putting out valuable content on your Instagram, well, you should be emailing your leads about this content that you're creating, sending them the link to what you just created. Not only are you driving traffic to your social media that way by using your email list, but you're providing your leads with valuable information. This just goes back to the whole thing about the dialing and just dialing and dialing and dialing. Like, do something else other than dial them. Like, give them some value, give them some education, let them get to know you as an agent. And that's what's going to ultimately not just move them into the buying pocket of that they need what you're selling, but that they want to specifically work with you as their agent because they trust you. They know you through the content that they're consuming from you. So that lead nurture, I can't emphasize it enough, because if every agent were just to nurture their leads, they would, I don't know, they probably double their close rate. That's probably a bold thing to say, but it's...
Do you want to double your close rate? Yes? No? Let us know.
They get so frustrated. Why aren't these leads ready to buy? Well, because they don't know you. You haven't provided any value to them.
Listen, I know when you're sitting there at a light and someone comes up and knocks on your window on your car and like, hey, buy this right thing. You absolutely roll down your window, pull out your cash, purchase that right there from the stranger that smells a little funky, that's handing something that probably may not even be legal or ever. And like, no, you're like,
what are we talking about right
now? I don't know,
David?
actually. I kind of got lost in the analogy or the metaphor. I was just thinking like, food that, where was this cooked or whatever. But,
food? That's where we were going. Okay.
I should have been more clear, right? So, yes.
I am glad you clarified
clear
that
over
part.
clever, because my clever failed there. So anyways, same thing though, right? Like, trust is key. And also realizing, I got to nurture people up to the time they're even ready to buy. Like I'll mention, like, if it's not the time I'm ready to purchase for whatever reason, the life situation, like I haven't finished buying the house yet to then purchase the mortgage protection policy, right? Like, then cool, nurture me. And in a month when I bought the house, cool, I need to put this policy in place. Let's do it, right? And so, that is the key. Like realizing this isn't a one and done quick transaction game. It's the same thing with ads, right? Retargeting, super, super powerful, and something that really all agents should be doing as a part of that too. So awesome. So, at the end of the day, guys, we want to be the agents that we would actually work with ourselves, right? So we've given you plenty of examples of some things that you might be doing, one, two, maybe even all of these things being like, oh man, I'm the exact opposite of who I would ever work with or who I'd want to. Let's start changing a few of these things, and I promise you're going to have better results.
Yeah. And if you wouldn't work with you, maybe it's time to stop marketing like you're a completely different person.
This business gets better when you start treating people the way you want to be treated. Imagine that. So, would you work with you? So, before we end, Elle, where can they grab all the resources, everything we put together for them that they can take away from this?
Awesome. So if you were interested in anything that I talked about, especially like lead nurture, how to use social media to really build that relationship with your audience, head on over to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast. We have all of the show notes, resources, as well as a marketing guide so that you can get started with your own organic lead generation.
Thanks for joining us on the Modern Insurance Agents podcast. Catch you on the next one.